And to celebrate the 10th edition, the 10th anniversary edition of Love in 90 Days coming out, I'm so excited. We have a very, very special interview series with women who have used the Love in 90 Days approach to completely transform their love lives. So I'm very, very excited today to talk to a woman who is extraordinary, and she has completely transformed her love life. And I want to introduce you to Emily Manning. Let me read her bio, which is very impressive. Emily Manning is a sought-after digital marketing expert who specializes in creating captivating content and major revenue streams for personal development gurus and lifestyle businesses. A highly motivated leader with over 20 years of experience in media and marketing for the United Nations, CNN, Random House, and Hay House, she is known as someone who gets results. She's worked alongside world leaders in a variety of industries, from UN Secretary General Kofi Annan to beloved authors Dr. Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra. Emily's clients and business partners include several New York Times bestselling authors, prominent TV personalities, and publishing houses. And in 2018 alone, her ideas and strategies directly generated over $1.5 million for her clients. Welcome, Emily.
Hi.
Wow, that's very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. So you can certainly speak to the dilemmas of successful women. You know, people think that when you're successful, it's just like falling off a rock, you know, because you have things going on in business, so you're automatically going to have things going on in your love life. And actually, it's not true. It can be very, very difficult in one's love life if one is very successful. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it was really hard for me to find a good match. There were definitely, I dated for a long time, and I would either feel like, oh, am I too intimidating? They would find out, you know, that I had worked for the UN, or that I started my own business, and there were definitely a number of guys who saw that as intimidating. So I would get that in my head, that there was something wrong with that. And would I ever find someone who was not only an equal, but who was really excited about my career?
Right.
I also had a few guys who wanted to get into the self-help industry and become authors, who at times I would feel like kind of were using me in a way for my connections. So it was really, really tough. And I definitely would at times hide who I was, because I was just convinced, and I think a number of even my friends have felt this too, that when you're smart and successful, it's definitely much harder to find an equal.
Yes, yeah. So it's a two-pronged problem. One is that you're intimidating, you're thinking you're intimidating to guys. And number two, are they there to use you or glom onto you? I mean, you know, are they gold diggers themselves in one way or another? So it can get confusing. So how did you work your way out of that?
Well, I had looked at your book years ago, and after reading, I was really inspired to, I had already been dating quite a bit, and I dated online. I was really inspired to look at dating as a job. That, and what you say in your book, I think a lot of women give up. And at times I would have, a bad experience on Match.com and think, oh, I'm never going to online date again. This is hopeless. So you take yourself off and spend a year feeling sorry for yourself. And it was sort of this on and off thing. So I really changed my mindset. I began to see dating as less serious. So each date wasn't about finding the one. It was just a date. And it almost became just sort of, oh, well, I'm going to enjoy being single. Someday I will meet the one, and I might as well have just a lot of fun now. And, even if it's just a date, it could be a really funny story, which I have quite a few now. Yeah. And, I'll be so grateful when I do meet the one, and I'll look back and think, gosh, this was a long road, but yay, this person is definitely it. So I think the book really helped me with that. It also really helped me look at some of my patterns. I think a lot of women can relate to this. Men who come on strong, or who act like you're the one right away, and you almost just get so convinced, you get wrapped up in that, And then, you know, within a few months, they're acting really weird and you're thinking, did I do something wrong? And it just became really disheartening. So I started to really look at my patterns and who I was choosing. And the book really inspired me to take a step back. I know you have a list of things to look for and start to see, oh, well, how is this person really showing up for me? What's really important to me? Are they, you know, are they being open? Are they making effort, consistent effort? Is this a two-way street? It also really helped me look at, you know, was I settling for crumbs, or was I trying to make someone, like, what if someone didn't really like the real me? And that goes back to, am I too intimidating? Or what if I'm not good enough? You have some really great exercises that help you become more confident and show up just who you are, and start to really trust the process, that the right person will love the real you.
I love that. The right person will love the real you. I love that. I love that. That is just beautiful. And did you do the diamond self work?
I did, yes. And I found that not only helpful for dating, but also for just work and stuff like that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Would you mind sharing your diamond self name?
Sure. It's a little cheesy. And I remember initially when this started, I was thinking, gosh, this is, you know, but mine is the chosen irresistible goddess of love. Yeah. The first time I'm going public.
It's so weird when you first start with these names, you know, you think this is silly, this is ridiculous, you know, it's not exactly like saying, you know, at work, I'm going to be CEO of this and that. But it's so powerful. It's just as powerful as saying I'm going to be CEO, or I'm going to be you know, the head of this division, or I'm going to start my own business. It's just as powerful. You know, you don't feel like you can when you make those declarations. You don't feel like you can do those things. And it's similar, you know, with the diamond self work, you know, where you actually give yourself a nickname and you get to decide who you want to be when it comes to love. You know, you get to decide. And it's pretty amazing. It's really, really amazing. It's almost like you're declaring yourself to be like the Bachelorette. You know, here I am. I'm the Bachelorette. I'm gorgeous and super desirable. And it works. It literally works every time. If you really work the diamond self-work, and women have had so many different names, you know, Vivacious Vixen, Saucy Minx, Beloved Mighty Isis, Amazing Grace, Irresistible One of Effulgent Light, you know, the Magnetic Magical Queen, you know. It's like each person has a different diamond self name. It's like snowflakes, you know, as you think into and feel into who you would like to be. And when you really work that in and it becomes part of your identity, it's so powerful. Can you tell us some of the ways you actually took that persona in, you took that identity in?
Yeah, I would visualize. I think it's especially at times when I felt like I wasn't that, I would start to call myself that. So just in my head, you know, I'm the chosen irresistible goddess of love. And I think, and then just sort of dressing that way, you talk about that. What would that part of me want to wear? How would that part of me act in this situation?
Yeah, it's so powerful. And they're, you know, as you put that in, you're really rewiring your brain. You're rewiring your brain in the area of identity, which is so powerful. It's just totally powerful. So, you know, do you feel like the irresistible goddess now?
I do. And I think in the book, you go through the different adjectives you can add to that. And I think what was so key with that is we all have those fears. Like mine was, oh, what if I'm not chosen? So the key is so much adding those little things that you don't think are necessarily part of you and starting to embody them. It just makes a huge, huge difference. So yeah, it definitely.
Yeah. It's like an instant powerful affirmation. You feel I'm not chosen, I'm invisible, I'm not enough. So then you just go with, hey, chosen, visible, magnetic. This instant affirmation to counter your all of us have this disappointing self-talk. I call it the disappointing self-talk. So, you know, that negative talk can be countered with your name, with your very name, which is so cool. So it's very exciting. I mean, I know you did meet the one.
I did.
It's so incredible.
And I just got engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And he was not intimidated, and he was not trying to use you, but he understood you were the irresistible guy.
Yes, and he's amazing. Yes.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And did you do the dating program at 3 before you got
I did. I like I said, I definitely saw it. I really just started to see dating as a job, and I refused to give up. And it definitely, I think it's such a major key to do that, and to sort of just date around and start to compare, because you can definitely start to compare, and then you sort of think, gosh, this other guy's not who this guy is. And for me, eventually it was just sort of, okay, well, I'm only going to date guys who actually explicitly say they want a relationship.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You have to be on your wavelength and into your goal,
Right. And to be honest, there was a part of me that was afraid to even say that. I think there was at the end, I actually put in my profile, I'm looking for, you know, an amazing partner who was, you know, some sort of line that intimated that, yes, I'm looking for a lifelong partner. And I thought, oh, well, what if no one writes me? So yeah, but I think in the end, it was just putting myself out there. Here's what I want. And I'm looking for someone who also wants that. And it was a major, major shift. And shortly after that, I met my now fiance. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome. You know, particularly for millennials, it's not considered cool to put down what you really want. You got to be cool and play it coy and you know, and dance around the bush, and that gets you nowhere.
I agree. And I have friends who still sort of, and I was there too. You think, you know, there are all these books that talk about, you know, making the man like you, and working in this industry, I've seen just so many different things. And I think a lot of women are convinced, oh yes, I need to just sort of not let him know what I really want, because then he'll run.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea is that all men have commitment fears, but they're actually marrying kind of men. I think you've noticed and used that section of the book about what are the characteristics of a marrying kind of man.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm in my 40s. So, and there was a part where I was convinced, oh, well, you know, most men who now are beyond their 30s, are they, you know, just not ready? Are they sort of heartbroken, or have they had a heartbreak, and will they ever want to marry again? And
yeah, but you wound up with someone who was the marrying kind. And by the way, a couple of criteria that indicate that. One is he comes from an intact family. The parents are not divorced. 2, the family has a religious practice. Often he has a religious practice. And number 3, he makes positive statements about marriage, not negative statements. Not like, you know, he sees his friend get married, he's like, oh God, another one bites the dust. So, you know, that's telling. You can actually not waste time, because you know you're going to be with somebody who's going to want a lasting, passionate love relationship, you know. And when you have that solidity there, that devotion, that caring, it is so profound. It's really, really profound to have that as a ground in your life. You know, I know you can speak to that, Emily.
Yeah, it's life-changing to have someone who is on your same wavelength. And if there's any sort of takeaway, I would say, I've seen so many women, and I did this too, to think that you can convince someone, and to have seen these sort of negative statements about relationships, and just to wait until he's ready. It's just, looking back, it's just not worth it. It's just, I'm so grateful I waited, and I stuck it out and continued the process.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, any last words of wisdom to the women out there?
I just think, trust the process. I know, especially with online dating, it can be really tough out there. I think, like I said earlier, just for me, what really worked was eventually just sort of seeing it as not seeing it as a game. And one of the things you do say in the book is to approach it like a job search. If I were looking for a job, I would stay consistent and be looking for a job. If you're looking for love, treat it like that. Just stay consistent, keep yourself out there, and keep trusting the process. And at the right time, you'll find the right person.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Okay, guys. Well, here, like I want to show you the book. The really exciting thing is that if you buy a copy of Love in 90 Days right now, it comes with $1,000 worth of bonus gifts, which are pretty incredible. The bonus gifts include an e-report that's no one's ever read before about how to use your eyes in dating, which is really, really interesting, and all kinds of things. An ebook on essential oils and love, and webinars and training. It's just amazing. And all you need to do to get that is to go to my website, which is lovein90days.com. That's lovein90days.com. And at the top, you'll see where it says $1,000. Just click where it says $1,000 and it'll take you right to the page so you can get set up. And if you like this video, please like it and share it. If you're watching on YouTube, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you once again, Emily. Thank you for your beautiful, inspirational story. It's so wonderful. Congratulations too. Just I understand you got engaged at sunset on the beach.
I did, yes. It was beautiful. We had the most amazing sunset. Yes. And it was funny. It was how I envisioned it, and he had no idea. That's sort of how, what I would have loved, just to have the beach.
Wow. You see, there it is. You envision, again, it's beyond your wildest dreams, right? She didn't communicate this, but it's beyond her wildest dreams that he would get it telepathically. You set it up. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful story. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Well, until next week, lots of love to you guys, and thanks for watching.